Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Thank you for coming to this channel again, zani4u.com, and also thank you for watching this video. Again, in this video, I would like to share about registered ethical engineer manager. Again, okay, again. I decided to share this one, what I will share with you in this video for free. Okay, because before this, whoever wanted to somehow listen to what I'm going to share to you, they have to come to my workshop. Okay, workshop on service delivery. Okay, for registered manager. Normally I conducted since way back in 2016. I started under my school, and then later I conducted on my own. Okay, so that, for that they have to pay, but I think after sometimes, after giving myself a very deep, long thinking and deep thought, now I think I decided to share, how I interpreted the regulation and how I use my interpretation in performing my duties as a RIM, because now I'm being appointed personally. I'm personally, appointed as over 30 installation as the RIM. And for this installation, I'm personally delivering the service to them. Okay, it started with some staff, but now personally, I'm delivering the service to each of these so-called installation. Okay, that affected under the regulation. So I decided to share with you so that you can share with others for free. What I'm going to share with you is my own interpretation and how I link, how I link the provision in the regulation, in the efficient management of particular regulation 2008 into my duties. So I interpret the regulation and then I transform that into some kind so-called my job description, or what I'll do, okay, what I'm doing for each installation based on each provision in the regulations. Because as a RIM, for me, I believe my basis of service should be based on the regulation, not the way how I interpreted, not how I interpret the regulation, but not referring to the regulation itself. Because I know many of RIMs, once they have received their certificate as the RIM, they never look at the regulation anymore. Okay, I asked personally many of them, and they agree with me. After they got the certificate, they never refer to the regulation anymore. They just interpret what they're supposed to do based on their understanding, and their understanding varies from one to another. I'm not saying it's wrong, but somehow it varies. Okay, so I hope my sharing, okay, will help everyone, or you can see things from the same perspective, and up to you. Okay, at the end of the day, as a RIM, whether you want to apply it or not. Okay, because this is the way how I interpret it and how I make use of that, and how I've been successfully deliver my services to my clients so far. Okay, so with that, let me share my screen here. Okay, so my title today is Interpreting Regulation 6 and Regulation 16 in the Efficient Management of Regulation 2008, or Emeer 2008. And basically, I'm sharing some tips and guides, for the appointed RIMs to perform their function and duties. That's all. Okay, that's all. Okay. So as a start, okay, let's have a look at this. Okay. So first of all, we have to, as a RIM, we must be very, very familiar with the regulation itself. It is a must for me. Not only before we become a RIM, because we want to answer the question during the interview, but even during our execution of the duties. We have to, we must be always referring to the regulation as a basis of our performing our duties and function. Okay, so in this regulation, we have 24 regulations under this regulation. So, but for me, today, in this video, I just would like to highlight two, which is the regulation 6, okay, and regulation 16. Why these two? Because for me, the way I look at it, this is the only two provisions, in the regulations that somehow give some idea, first, what the installation owner or what the installation that affected under the regulation is supposed to do. And then another one for regulation 16 is what the RIM or the appointed RIM supposed to do. Okay, because the rest basically to me more on the administration of the regulation. If you have become RIM, you don't need to know the requirement because you're RIM. But for I think for me to in performing the duties, as the RIM, okay, the RIM must know, must be able to interpret, okay, these two regulations, regulation 6 and regulation 16. For me, regulations 6 and 16 must be read together. Okay, because otherwise, if you don't read this one together, this is where we have some misunderstanding. Okay, we look into this, one by one after this. Because my point here, regulation 6, okay, is about the obligation of the installation that affected under this regulation. Okay, and regulation 16 is the what the RIM supposed to do. Okay, somehow it outlined the function and duties of a RIM. Now let's have a look at the regulation 6. Under regulation 6, okay, first of all, Energy Commission will send a notice to the installation owner that they are affected by this regulation. Done. That one is quite no problem. But this is often being overlooked. If you look at the regulation 6(1)(a), if you look carefully there, clearly mentioned there, the appoint or designer a RIM. And most people and most installation owner just look into this to appoint and design a RIM. That's all. Okay. What often being overlooked is the next words. The next word is to carry out the function and duties under regulation 16. Okay. Therefore, the moment the installation owner has appointed the RIM, they must allow, okay, the RIM to perform their function and duty based on the regulation 16. This is something that the installation owner must know, must understand. Or if the installation owner don't understand or don't know I don't have any idea all about what it's all about, the RIM, the appointed RIM is supposed to educate, tell, explain, teach the installation owner what is this all about. Because if this one is not being taken seriously, what will happen basically? They said, they appointed a RIM just to make sure the RIM help them to submit the report every 6 months as required by the regulation. That's all. Okay, so this is very important. 6(1)(a). The rest basically notify ST, any commission, no problem. And then after that, regulation 6(1)(c), okay, 6(1)(c). So the installation owner has to submit information, including the statement of policy for efficient electrical energy management, and objective of the electrical energy management, and all documentation pertaining to this efficient electrical energy management. Okay, and then together with Form A and Form B. Okay, Form A signed by the installation owner, and Form B signed by the RIM. Okay, or they have to submit anything what the commission may require. My point here, okay, if you just understand if the owner just look into this section 6 and they know they have to appoint a RIM and notify any commission, and then they have to submit this information, the policy and objective, and then all this document now all submitted to, okay, all this basically now is submitted to the EMIS. It's just that, okay, it's just by just doing that, all right. Can you ensure the installation, guarantee the installation will have the efficient management of electrical energy? Because this policy is just one part of something. So that's why. So the installation owner must understand this policy is a part of other things. It's a part of efficient management of electrical energy management. Electrical energy management. It's not just a policy and objective, but for reporting purpose only. This is often be understood. They thought this one you're for reporting purpose. No, this is how I look at it. Because this, if you understand what is energy management, what is efficient electrical energy management. Okay, basically to make sure energy being used efficiently, right? Okay, and then they must be done in a systematic approach, or they must have the energy management system. For me, the whole idea of this regulation is about for the installation owner to ensure the efficient management of energy. Ongoing, it's become ongoing. It must be ongoing systematically. So if you want to do something ongoing continuously, you must do it in a systematic way. Okay, if you're talking about systematic way of energy management, normally we call that energy management system. No two way about it. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, because to ensure energy be managed efficiently, continuously, you must have a system. You must have a system or certain way of doing things. But everyone can follow the same thing. And I interpret that one, efficient electrical energy management as the energy management system. Therefore, I can say policy is a part of energy management system. Okay, objective of efficient management of efficient electrical energy management is as a part of the energy management system. Okay, so it's not a stand-alone. This is a part of that. Okay, don't ask me why it come this way. I cannot answer anything because this is the law. But just having the policy submitted to the Energy Commission, reported every month, does it help to somehow that alone can help you to make sure efficient electrical energy management in the installation? No. Okay, because if you just have a policy statement, no others than that, no further than that, nothing will happen. It's just a statement. Okay, and then you have an objective here. The moment you have the objective, objective is the statement, what you want to achieve in energy management, for example. What you want to achieve. But objective must come with the value, or they call it target. Objective to save how much? Objective to improve how much? That's how you can, you can help to achieve something. Just objective, but no targets. What's there? How to can check whether you have improved or not in terms of energy performance. So this is very, very important. Okay, this is very important. So number one, the moment RIM being appointed, they must carry out the function duty based on Regulation 16. This is, for me, this is very, very important for the RIM to understand this, so that the RIM can explain to the installation owner, this is involve me as well as the RIM. Yeah, this Regulation 16 here involve me directly, because you must allow me to perform my duties under Regulation 16. If they don't, basically, my understanding, they are committing an offense under the law. Because the point is designing a RIM to carry out the function. If the RIM could perform the function based on Regulation 16, it's for me it's committing an offense. You cannot get they cannot help to ensure efficient management of electrical energy. Okay, so it's very important here. So I would say number 61A, RIM must be allowed. Okay, you must allow as an installation owner. The installation owner must allow the RIM to perform the function and duties based on Regulation 16. Okay, therefore it is very, very important. Okay, for the RIM to be able to interpret Regulation 16 correctly. We come to that later. Okay, this is very, very important. So I would say therefore, I mentioned here, you must read Regulation 6 and 16 together. Without connecting these two, that's all. This is not enough. Okay, it's not enough. Okay, for RIM to be able to perform the function, these two provisions have connections. Okay, so again, here the question now, how to interpret and where to refer. Okay, we'll answer the question later. This is very so. Therefore, I must mention here, it's very important for the RIM to understand what exactly Regulation 16 requires, so that the RIM must be able or should be able, okay, to explain to the institution owner what exactly and their role, in this regulation. Next one. Okay, we come to the Regulation 16. Okay, normally during the interview, RIM has to memorize this one because they have to answer this question. Okay, function and duties of an electrical energy manager. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. So he shall be responsible. Okay, 1, audit and analyze. total electrical energy consumption or total net electrical energy generation at the station, including significant end use of electricity. This is again, there are many misunderstanding about this one. I must mention here, firstly, okay, the word here, the key word here is audit and analyze. Look at the word audit and analyze. Okay, and many RIM, I met many of them, even when I conducted the training. Okay, they thought to audit means that to perform energy audit. Okay, to perform energy audit. I must say this. It is not. It is wrong to say this provision says that that to audit means that to conduct energy audit. It is wrong. It's not right because the law doesn't say so. Unless in the regulation mentioned that there is a definition for that, energy audit referring to energy audit. So they must have a definition for that. But it doesn't. Okay. So there are many people thought this one means that energy audit. No, it's wrong. To me, it's wrong. If you mention that for me, it's illegal. You are somehow adding to the law, which is not that. Okay. So here basically, to audit analyze total consumption. This doesn't require any measurement because they said total electrical energy consumption. Total electrical energy consumption you can get from the electricity bill. That's all. Okay, that's all. You don't need to do measurement. You don't need to conduct energy audit. You need to analyze that. Analyze that. Analyze. Later I share with you what to analyze, what to do. Okay, how to interpret this one. What's your guide to refer? How far to audit and analyze? What kind of data should I produce and all that? Okay, and then including significant end of use. Means that significant end of use means that where energy being used mostly, right? For example, in a building, 60% go to aircon system. Okay, the next lighting and others. So this somehow the RIM should be responsible to somehow to come up with this. Okay, come up with this. Where energy being used. This can be done without measurement. This can be done without energy audit. Can be done. I guarantee you that. I have done that many times. I don't need energy audit, to come up with this. Here, significant end of use basically means, where energy being used. Means that which one the largest user, how many percent, how many kilowatt hour, and so on, and all that. You need to know. But to do that, you must do some kind of, data collection and calculation. You don't need to do energy audit. So this is the first one. Again, I must mention here again because there are many people out there, okay, even RIM, okay, even they mention to the installation owner, they must conduct energy audit. No, it's wrong. The law doesn't mention anything about energy audit. It's no such word energy audit in this regulation. No such word of energy audit. Audit can be anything. But here I mentioned audit, clearly mentioned here, audit and analyze total electrical energy consumption. Who asked you to conduct energy audit? Mention here total electrical energy consumption. So this total electrical energy consumption can be, this data can be obtained from the electricity bill. All right. So this is one thing. This is one. So again, how to interpret this one? We talk about it later. The second part. To advise. Okay. The private installation or consumer in, this is the keyword. First, to advise. The keyword is to advise. What do you mean by advice? What do you mean by advice? For me, how I interpret advice? Advice basically beri nasihatkan, okay? Beri tahu. But for me, my definition of advice is that if the installation owner don't know, the RIM must tell them what to do. Okay? If the installation owner has done that, RIM has to have a look and then check whether they are doing it right or not. Okay, if the installation owner has done it right, okay, RIM must help them how to become better. If they have done it, but not right, RIM has to correct that. Tell them which one is wrong. This is what I define as advice. And then what? Advice on what? In developing and implementing measures to ensure efficient management of electrical energy. Again, the word here, implementing, developing, implementing measures. And many people maybe read out there, define this as measures as energy saving measures alone. Okay, which again, I disagree. I think it's wrong. Just to narrow down the scope, this measure only referring to energy saving measures alone. I give example. Okay, if you know, for you, if you just know how to save energy, let's say you know how to save energy, you know what to do for the motor and all that. Okay, or for example, you know the motor is not efficient, old motor. All right, or your aircon system not efficient. You know how to save. Maybe you need to change new one, or you need to put something, do some optimization. Okay, and this one need cost. Need cost. Okay. So is it enough? You know the measure. Is it enough to ensure efficient management of energy? Just knowing how to save, but you have no authority to implement that. Can that ensure efficient management of energy? No, right? No. Therefore, this word here, developing and implementing measures to ensure efficient management of energy. How I define it? Measures to ensure means that something to ensure it happen and must be ongoing. Again, must be ongoing and developing and implementing measures. So again, I define this one, I interpret this one, okay, as developing and implementing energy management system. System. Okay, by having energy management system, you can ensure efficient management of energy because systematic way you can have. First, you must have the policy, okay, and then after the policy, from the top management, policy from the top, and then after that, you form a team, you know, and form a team, you know, to prepare the energy planning. Okay, the energy planning, and then in the planning, next step, you know, you do the plan, and then you implement the measures, implement whatever you plan. Okay, and then after that, you conduct performance evaluation. Okay, and then after that, we bring all the input from the performance evaluation to the management for the management review. That's a typical process of energy management system that can ensure efficient management of energy. But by knowing how to save energy alone doesn't ensure you to save energy. Because example, there are many companies conducted energy audit. Okay, there are many companies know how to save energy. There are many people know how to save energy, but the project not executed. You know, the energy audit report just remain as a report, not being implemented, the finding. Okay, therefore, again here, okay, again here, the interpretation of this, right? Okay, interpretation of this, okay, basically is to advise the installation owner to develop and implement energy management system. Can I be wrong? I don't think I can be wrong. If I'm wrong, let's have discussion. Which part I'm wrong? Okay. Even the regulator may say I'm wrong. So, but for me to practice, I must be able to interpret. You know, otherwise, you know, no one give me the guides. ST has, even the regulator never guide us, never give some kind of guides what to do exactly. Exactly. They never tell us, you know, what exactly to do, how they exactly to interpret this one. No, I haven't got any kind of training under that. Okay. And then next one, number 3. Okay. Number 3, to monitor effective implementation of the measures. How can you monitor your system effectiveness? Only for me, if you have done number 2, only you can do number 3. You know why? Because once you have the energy management system based on the requirement under Regulation 16A2, you have a system. In a complete energy management system, the system will have the energy performance indicator and energy performance baseline, and then they have the energy management targets. So once you have the indicator and you have the baseline value and you have the target, and then you can monitor effectiveness. Are you achieving a target or not? So by not having a system in place or targets in place, how can you monitor effectiveness? So this is exactly, okay. So this is I mentioned here, to monitor effective implementation of the measure, report the subparagraph A2. All right, so how to monitor? By looking into the indicator and baseline. Look, check against the target, whether achieve the target or not. If not, why? If go beyond, if above, you know, how to get better. Okay, this is how I interpret this one. Okay, if you ask me by right, this provision, right? This provision, okay, supposed to be to me, number 2 supposed to be number 1. You know what? Number 2 is the overall, the startup, cover everything. Because this audit and analyze, okay, should be part of the element in the energy planning in the engineering system development. It's a part of the energy review in the engineering system development. Okay. Alright, so this is number A3. And then B. So the RIM shall supervise and keeping of records on efficient management of electrical irrigation energy at the installation and verify its accuracy. So so what kind of record you need to monitor? What kind of record? So you're supposed to supervise the keep of records. So what kind of record? Again, if the installation owner has the engineering system implemented, they have the proper record and documentation. They know what exactly data to be collected, right? How they establish the indicator, how they set the target, everything will be there. And all properly documented. And only having that kind of records and the proper record or documentation, and then RIM can supervise how record being kept. And so that after that, RIM can verify the accuracy. Without a proper documentation, normally applicable during when you have a system. Okay, how can you verify? How can you verify? What to verify actually? What to verify? No guide in the regulation. But in energy management system, how to verify, how to check, your system performance, everything. You check based on your indicator and your punya baseline, and also based on your target. And then for the system compliance, right? To ensure people are following, you have the SOP, right? And also all the work instructions, so that you can check whether people following the SOP or not, all documented. And then you can verify. Okay, this A and B is very, very important. So RIM must be able to explain. RIM must be able to understand this one, explain to the owner, and how to deliver, how to show it into kind of something visual can be seen. Okay, therefore, okay, and number AC basically reporting. This one nothing much lah. Reporting, you have to submit to report to Energy Commission every 6 months. Simple as that. And RIM must verify the report. Again, the question, how to interpret this one and where to refer? Where to refer? And how to interpret and where to refer? Where to refer? The question is where to refer. Therefore, when I became a RIM, I don't know where to refer. So I have to find where should I refer? How can I interpret this one? Therefore, okay, after that, what I found out, okay, what I use this. I refer to ISO 50001, that time 2011 version. Because I know the best standard, or the most practical standard that I can refer, being used globally for energy management is ISO 5001. So I studied the provision. I tried to find the link between the two, the Emeer 2008, regulation 6 and 16, and regulation and provision in this regulation. Sorry, and clauses in the ISO 2001. This is all the clauses under the ISO 2001. If you look here, okay, look from the all the blue colors, okay, clause 4 and 5. Clause 4 and 5 basically involve management commitment. 4 and 5, okay, especially number 5, leadership. So this is common. Okay, this is energy management system. So start with the top management commitment. Okay, after that, after they get the top management commitment, okay, and then they come up with the policy statement. And policy required under the regulation, right? Under the regulation 6. Okay. Okay, policy is required under regulation 6. Okay, and then after that one, we got a policy, all right? And they have to form a team, energy management team internally to implement the policy. Okay, under clause 5. Okay, that's why if you look at the Emeer 2008, under reporting to EMIS, through EMIS, ST required, okay, ST required every installation to submit their energy management committee. Management committee. So the way I look at it, when I see that, okay, this is somehow here. So what I did after that, I look this standard and I look at the requirement, the actual standard. What exactly does it mean? So I decided. So and then I look one by one again. Planning, for example. When I look at planning, I see the word objective there. Objective. So the objective is required in the emissions reporting by ST. But in the standard, objective come with the targets and planning on how to achieve the targets. So the objective alone not enough. So that I must have a target. And then after that, I must do some kind of planning or action plan on how to achieve the targets. You see, nampak? More and more things, so that at least I know where to refer. I know what. So that I look at the standard, what the standard tells what to do. Okay, and then after that, okay, I look at this one just now. I look at this one. Okay, audit analyze. I don't know how to interpret. I cannot define myself. I cannot assume. So what I did, okay, I look here, what the data being used only total electrical energy consumption and certificate of use. But after that, when I look at ISO 1, okay, there's a provision on under the energy review. Under energy review. Okay, under energy review, there's a requirement. Okay, there's a requirement under energy review. First, you must, under clause 6, okay, clause 6.3, you must understand what? You must confirm, establish what energy sources are they being used. Confirm energy sources, maybe it has gas, electrical, and all that. Secondly, requirement under the standard, okay, understand past and present energy use and also energy consumption. Okay. So this basically, so I looked at, okay, analyze, this basically to understand past and present consumption or use, okay, I must analyze data, right, from the bill, because the regulation says total consumption, so data from the bill. So I see that, so okay, for me, oh, this is quite relevant to me. So that's why I look at regulation 16A1, the definition of that particular provision. The guide, basically, I look at the clause 6.3 energy review of the ISO 1. Okay, I just look at the energy review part where we just need to use the total energy consumption data alone. We don't have to do measurement. But the law doesn't mention that you have to conduct some kind of measured data and so on. Okay, the third part of the energy review basically is to identify significant energy use. So it's similar to here. All right, 16A1, including significant end use of electricity. So I concluded, what I did, I concluded that for me to perform this regulation 16A1, I do what exactly required under the ISO 1, under the energy review, only 3 items, not all, 3 items, only confirm energy source, now electrical energy right here, this regulation, and then I analyze the past and present consumption from the bill. Okay. After that, I identify the significant energy use. That should be able to. Somehow by doing that, I think I have fulfilled this requirement. A16A1. That's all. Okay. Okay. And then I study again. Okay, I look here, right? I look here. I look at advice, implementing developing and implementing measures. So my understanding agreement system. So how I interpret this one? How I concluded, basically this task is for me to have the whole system in place, the complete system in place. So from there I need to know, I need to do all this, except I don't have to get prepared for the audit by the third party. That's all. Therefore, I can ignore the part 9.2, 9.2, and also clause 9.2, and clause 10.1, because it's only for the auditing purpose, for the certification purpose. Okay, so my conclusion is that for me to be able to advise, okay, the installation owner what to do, for me to be able to perform my duty as the RIM to fulfill this requirement under Regulation 16A2, I must help, okay, I must advise. If they don't know, I must help them to develop one. I must help them to implement one. Okay. If they do it right now, I must help them to improve. How to improve? If they do it wrong, I must show them what's the correct one. So basically, Regulation 16A2 is basically for me to, I must help the installation owner to have the complete energy management system for the installation. My reference, I use all this under ISO, except not for certification purpose. I think that was my biggest so-called breakthrough. Okay, so I think it took me some time to ask myself, is it right or not? I decided that's the only way for me to interpret this Regulation 16A2, where my job basically as a RIM, I must advise, okay, the consumer or the installation licensee to develop implementation measure. Means that I must help them to develop energy management system. I must help them to implement energy management system at their installation. Based on my reference, I use this. Except I'm not preparing them for the certification. That's all. The rest I have to. So this is my breakthrough. I think this was my breakthrough. From this basis, okay, I developed my service scope. This is how I develop my service scope. Okay, the next, if you go to the next one, right? If you go to the next one, Regulation 16A3, monitor effective implementation. For me, easy. If you have a system, you have this. You have to have this energy performance indicator, energy baseline. From there, you set the targets here. You set the targets. Okay, and then it's a part of that. Okay, under clause 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, 6.6, data collections. I must collect data as well. So it means that for me to be able to monitor, if I have the baseline, I have the indicator, I have data collected, so I can monitor the performance. Simple as that. I can monitor the effectiveness of the measures implementation. Easy. Okay. And next part, okay, next part is the Regulation 16B. Supervise of keeping supervise the keeping of records and verify accuracy on the energy management activities, right? Okay. So if you follow this requirement, I have data collected under this standard system requirement. Okay. Same time, okay, I got the proper documentation. Okay, under the clause 7.5. Okay, 5. Okay, and 7.5. Okay, documented information. So I can verify. So what's wrong with that? Can I be wrong? I don't think I can be wrong. So that's why if the installation owner has the complete energy management system in place, I can do all this easily. I can do all this easily. And this is how they can ensure efficient management of electric energy at the installation. And if you look at Regulation 16C, all formality reports, just I have to make sure they send the report exactly. So if you have the complete system, what's wrong? What's so difficult to report? Because in the Emeer, in the reporting, so the Energy Commission every 6 months, basically, you need to report the total consumption, all right? And then the variable is a part of this. Variable, if you look at as a part of the energy review, we look into that later, okay, in this coming video, maybe second part of this video. Based on energy review, because under energy review, I mentioned earlier 3, right? Sources of energy being used, understand past and present consumption, and then identify SU. But after the under energy review, basically, okay, a part of the system requirement, you must confirm the relevant variable. For the installation, they must have the relevant variable. Okay. After that, after confirm the variable, they have to establish they must some kind of find improvement opportunities. This is where they may need to conduct energy audit. Next step of the energy review. Okay. After that, they must do some kind of estimation of the energy consumption. That can be done if you do the regression, sorry, if you have to confirm the variable, correctly. Okay, all that basically is a requirement under the complete engine system. No issue at all. So in Emeer, again, they have to update information the kilowatt hour energy. Okay, the 6 months, and then in building sector they have to update the net flow area. Okay, and then for industrial sector they have to update the production value. Okay, and then after that they have to report on their what are the measures, energy saving measure implemented throughout the period. Okay, and how much saving expected. So if I have the Emeer system, that should be covered under this. I have all the data because I have some measures need to be implemented for me to achieve my target under the action plan. Okay, no problem at all. Therefore, if the installation has a proper and complete management system in place, reporting is become just a formality because all information supposed to be there. So because you know why? Because energy efficient management of the energy is not a 6-month activity. Every 6 months it must be ongoing. And system normally management system for any kind of topic, management system for quality, system for safety, it's not. It's every day. It's every day. So become activities. Look here. This is how. So this is my main reference. How I interpreted this provision. Regulation 6. Okay. 6. Okay. 6 policy objective. Okay. And from regulation 16. Okay. My main reference basically is the ISO 2001. My reference. Again, I'm not promoting certification here. I'm referring to the standard as a guide. Standard basically is a guide, right? Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not promoting certification here. I never promoted certification. But if you do that accordingly, it's easy to get certified, right? Because everything is there. Just need to get a proper documentation. That's all. Okay, this is the question. So when I combine the two, when I combine the provision, okay, this regulation and the ISO, I came up with this. You look here. Okay, this is clearly where this is when what I did, right? I put this into one page so that I can have better picture, me, myself, and easier for me to explain. Okay, so you look here. Okay, all here. You're talking about here. This is the common component in the energy management system. Management commitment, policy, planning, operation, performance evaluation, and management review. This is typical any management system. The difference is that energy, that's all. For safety, they got different things, but common, all the same. Typical PDCA cycle. This is all common element in any management system. Safety management systems almost similar, same concept. Same concept. So if you look here, okay, I highlighted here, what I put here, highlighted here, okay, highlighted here, all the provision, key provision in the ISO 2001, okay, and then the yellow box, all regulations, provision in the regulation, okay, 6 and 16 that are related to this. That can, so these are the clauses, okay, I put the ISO clauses here, okay, and so these are the clauses that help to interpret this provision. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so these clauses here, clauses in this ISO requirement based on the ISO, they can help you, can help the RIM to interpret what actually they need to do to meet that provision in the regulation. Okay, so okay, for me, I'm quite confident that I cannot be wrong if I do this. If I help my installation, okay, the one I've been engaged as a RIM to help the proper to have an energy system, how can I be wrong? How can I be wrong if they have a proper energy management system in place? How can I be wrong? I don't think that's why. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm exactly correct, but that's how I use it. And this I've been using this one throughout my when I deliver my survey as a RIM for many years since 2013. I have the evidence that has been successful. Easier for me to manage them, easier for them to manage the NG as well, and easier for them to report as well. Okay, so it's not that, it's not that difficult. So this is the how I interpret. This is how I interpret, again, the regulations. Okay, this is how I deliver my service as the RIM. Therefore, it is very, very important for any RIM to be able, if you want to use this, okay, if you want to use this, the same approach, use it. But my advice is that, okay, you must understand all this. What's the meaning of all this? You must understand the requirement under the standard. What do you mean by management commitment? Okay, what do you mean by leadership or policy? What do you mean by energy planning? All that you must study. You must learn. No choice. But if you don't do that, you can't interpret that. How can you do that? And then, okay, maybe in the next videos, okay, I share some example. I'll share you some example how to, you can see all that. When you say I claim, let's say, have you done the regulation 16A1? How you can show, what you can show, that show to as a proof that you have done that part. Okay, you have done that part. How can you show the evidence they have done that part? Okay, every single of this I will share with you, okay, in the next video, okay, how you can show visually in the form of documentation, write up, even some kind of charts, and all that, that you have done this part. You have done this section 16, okay, A, B, C, you have done. You look here. That's why you have to learn what's SGMM system, because naturally, you cannot simply assume. So I'm very clear. My reference is always ISO 2001. My reference only. My reference. Therefore, I don't think I can be wrong. If I'm wrong, that the standard is wrong, lah. Okay, I think that's the first part of this video, about how we interpret, how I interpreted the regulations in order for me to perform, okay, my duties as the RIM at any installation. Okay, especially I perform my duty based on this provision, okay, and also based on this provision. I think personally, I drafted many policy for my client, my installation. I help them to draft. Okay, and I help them to set their targets. I help them how they can come up with the targets, so that they can somehow to achieve their objective. Okay, I explain to them personally. I explain to them what do you mean by this regulation 16 here, one by one. I explain to them exactly what I'll do if they engage me as the RIM. Therefore, it's not cheap. It costs them between 1,500 to 3,000 per month for the first 2 years. That's my fee. I can no problem to share. How I come up with the cost, different story lah. I have my way lah. How? So basically, that's why normally the fee for me to deliver the job as a RIM cost the installation depending on the size, everything, between 1,500 until 3,000 per month for the first 2 years. Okay, it's not easy. It's not easy to develop the system in place. They say they have the system, I just have to review, so the cost will be lower. This is my guide. Therefore, if somebody asks me to become the RIM, I'll tell them exactly what I'll do. If they said they are not interested, at least I know they are making the decision based on something being informed. If they decided to want to get cheaper one, fine, I'll go ahead. But at least I fulfill my obligation. At the RIM, I explain to them what's supposed to be done. And what I'll do. But if they decided just to go ahead with the minimal, just to make sure the RIM just help them to submit, verify the report, all right, go ahead, no problem. It's not wrong. By law, it's not nothing wrong with it. So it's quickly compliant to the but for me, when I become a RIM, I want to make sure I really fulfill that, so that I follow this guide as my guide, so that I deliver accordingly. That's why normally my contract as a RIM normally up to 2 years. 2 years as a start. With the kind of fee just now, right? After that, okay. Some I don't even mind after the 2 years. Stop my contract, I'm okay. Because sometimes, most of the time, in between the 2 years, I managed to coach some of their personnel become RIM themselves, so they can take over. I'm okay with that. I don't plan to be there forever. If they want me to stay, subsequently after 2 years, basically my role will be lesser. Of course, they pay lesser. Because the moment I have the system in place, I play just more like a purely consultancy role, advisory role. I don't need to come visit every month. But the first 2 years, I have to come every single month to help them, to work with them, to train them, all right, to teach them, to guide them on how to develop the system. Because I did not develop the system for them. They develop themselves. I just like a coach to them, facilitate them, train them, and all that. Not only for the people involved, also for the top awareness program and all that. That's how I deliver it. So this is the first part, how we interpret this regulation. Okay, look here. Okay, so I think this is for now the first part of this video. I hope I can share another video, all right, about, I will look into one by one, provision by provision. Okay, this provision, one by one here. Okay, even I think I'll show some example as well. It's easier. It's easier. Okay, so that you can make use of that. If you're RIM, you can make use of that. Okay, as long as it's the same regulation. Okay. So I think that's all for now. Okay, that's all for now. For the first part of this video, this somehow the start. Okay, in the next video, I will share the how we explain further. The regulation 16, especially. Okay, one by one. Okay, and some example. How as an evidence that you have done that, you have delivered that part. Okay. So okay, if you have any query, just email me. Okay, info@zaini4ee.com. Okay, info@zaini4ee.com. Okay, just like the background, that 4e the background there, Zaini. Okay, info@zaini4ee.com. Okay, and you can email me and then you can discuss. Okay, so with that, until the next video. Okay, and then see you again in the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera.